Sean "Diddy" Combs' defense mounts mental incapacity claim amid federal criminal charges. In a dramatic legal twist, Sean "Diddy" Combs' attorneys are now arguing that he may not have been mentally capable of forming the intent necessary to commit the serious crimes he's been charged with due to prolonged drug use. The argument centers on what's known in legal terms as mens rea, or the guilty mind, a fundamental element required to secure convictions in criminal court. According to Combs' defense, chronic substance abuse may have impaired his mental capacity to such a degree that he could not form the intent needed to commit acts such as sex trafficking, racketeering, and fraud, crimes for which he faces a minimum 15-year sentence if convicted. Defense cites mental condition, prosecutors push back. Combs' legal team has filed notice of intent to introduce psychiatric testimony from Dr. Ellie Owen, who is expected to testify that the rapper's long-term drug use left him mentally diminished. The testimony is aimed at showing a lack of capacity to form the deliberate intent behind the crimes alleged. Federal prosecutors have already filed a motion to exclude this testimony, stating clearly that the defense has not met procedural requirements and that the argument is a weak attempt to dodge accountability. Their filing notes, "To secure a conviction, the government must prove not only that the defendant committed the act, but that he did so with a guilty or blameworthy mindset." In essence, they're calling this a last-ditch defense, a Hail Mary meant to confuse the jury and cast doubt without substantive evidence. Legal experts react, a Hollywood defense. Observers have drawn comparisons between the defense strategy and the 1996 legal thriller Primal Fear, in which a defendant fakes mental illness to avoid conviction. Legal commentators argue that invoking mental incapacity due to drug use, especially over what is alleged to be a multi-year period involving dozens of victims across various locations, is not only implausible, but a direct admission that the crimes may have happened. This isn't just grasping at straws, it's like throwing a Hail Mary in a blizzard, one analyst quipped, referencing the desperation of the defense's approach. Another added, what they're really saying is, yes, he did all those things, and he just wasn't in his right mind. Credibility under fire critics of the defense point out the logistical flaws in the argument. If Combs was so incapacitated by drugs that he couldn't control or understand his actions, how could he also allegedly maintain sophisticated multi-state criminal operations that required coordination, secrecy, and long-term planning? Those familiar with nightlife culture and recreational drug use have expressed skepticism. No one on cocaine or MDMA loses their grasp on reality so completely that they accidentally run an organized criminal enterprise for years, one commentator noted. This doesn't hold up. Public sentiment and broader reactions. As public interest in the case intensifies, many are already drawing their own conclusions. Some see the diminished capacity defense as an insult to victims, while others believe it's a calculated move to delay proceedings or muddy the waters. Regardless, one takeaway seems clear. If this is the best argument the defense has, it signals just how formidable the government's case may be. With Combs' trial set for May 5th, all eyes will now be on the courtroom. Whether this line of defense gains any traction remains to be seen, but experts largely agree. This could be the final card played before an inevitable downfall.